Come see us do stand-up in Baltimore, Hartford, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island, and San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for the tickets. Glenn Greenwald tweeted this out, brought my attention to it. He says the Trump administration went from let's mass deport everyone who entered and remained in the U.S. illegally, how's that going, to let's deport everyone who is legally in the U.S. as a permanent resident if they criticize or engage in activism against Israel. And this is from Drop Sites, just in. Let me make this bigger. Trump announces the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, a lawful U.S. permanent resident and Columbia graduate involved in pro-Palestine campus protests, calling him a radical foreign pro-Hamas student. He adds, this is the first arrest of many to come. We know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, and anti-American activity. So here it is. Following my previously signed executive orders, ICE proudly apprehended and detained Mahmoud Khalil, a radical foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University. This is the first arrest of many to come. We know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity, and the Trump administration will not tolerate it. Many are not students. They are paid agitators. We will find, apprehend, and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again. If you support terrorism, including the slaughtering of innocent men, women, and children, your presence is... unless you support Israel doing it.
Unless you're Bibi Netanyahu, who supported terrorists, who did it to his own country,
right.
And you're cool.
Yeah, so Bibi was literally supporting them with cash.
Not protesting.
Not
he was
protesting.
giving the money through gutter. It's pronounced gutter, by the way, not Qatar. It's pronounced gutter.
Or Qatar.
Gutter.
So Benjamin Netanyahu was actually the one making sure they got financial support, Hamas, against the wishes of against the wishes of the PLO, and he's been doing it for 20 years.
It's in Wiki. They couldn't even take it out of Wikipedia. That's how true it is.
That's how true it is. And now
they couldn't even cover it up. Unbelievable.
And now Trump is deporting legal residents for their speech.
Well,
so this is what I talked about at the Rescue the Republic rally. I talked about, hey, if you are for free speech, it can't just be for the speech you like. It's got to be for speech you disagree with and hate. Meaning, if the Palestinian protesters can be silenced and criminalized, they can do that to you, and they effing will.
We just had 4 years of it. It's just going to switch sides like this?
Yeah.
There's not going to be any new boss, same as the old boss. That's great. Great job.
The White House official website says Shalom Mahmoud.
What does that mean, led activities aligned to Hamas? That's very vague.
Where do you see that?
Look, arrested. Led activities aligned.
Led activities aligned to Hamas. So they'll just say you're supporting it. That's all they have to do is say you're a terrorist. That's
not a specific charge.
Just like when they arrested people who were protesting the pipeline that ended up leaking in DAPL. They called them environmental terrorists. So now you can call anybody if they say you're a cyber terrorist if you spread disinformation or malinformation online. So all they have to do is say you're a terrorist and they take all your rights away. And Trump is doing that. So if you're for freedom of speech, and a lot of MAGA, by the way, are not on board with Israel. I met those people at the Rescue the Republic rally. They're not on board. So this is garbage. You can hate Hamas, you can hate Palestinians, but you have to
I gave up on Hamas 20 years ago, but Bibi didn't.
But you have to love free speech more than you hate Palestinians. You have to love free speech because their free speech is your free speech. And if they can take it away from them, they can take it away from you, which is why they allowed Nazis to march in Skokie, Illinois when I was a kid, and the ACLU protected their right to do it. And the people in Skokie also went along with it. And why Skokie? Because that's where a lot of Holocaust survivors lived. And they understood that freedom of speech for them meant freedom of speech for Nazis. It's not just for speech you like.
But Jimmy, free speech led to Germany becoming Do you understand? The whole generation of people think being allowed to talk is what causes Nazism. Like they genuinely think that, to the point where I have people go, I don't think free speech is really that important. I've had people literally say those words to me.
So there's people saying, well, if America is so bad, says Joe Biofunk, then they should want to leave. Why would you want to cheer on the loss of freedom of speech for anybody? Why would you want to cheer on the fact that the United States is so bad at free speech that people would want to live? Why
If
are
it's
you?
so bad, why don't you stop being bad?
Why are you sounding like an Islamic terrorist? Because they're the ones who don't allow free speech, right? Oh no, it's also Israel and the United States now.
Yeah, led activities aligned to Hamas. That's a fancy way of saying stochastic terrorism.
That's right.
The dingbat phrase AOC uses.
Wow. Wow. Okay. This would be where this is what's called Trump betraying his free speech promise, which means he's betraying MAGA. So they did it with H-1B visa. They're doing it now with free speech.
Well, by the way, this is the deal he made with the widow Adelson, who the amount of money she gives him is, that's how he weathered that storm, was selling. So that came in. It's not like he didn't go in saying Zionist nonsense. He absolutely did. So it's not like a switcheroo, but I'm surprised that they would pass something like this, which is such a violation.
How many?
Who could be okay with that?
Okay, so you tell me. People who don't understand the situation are okay with this. People who don't understand what the implications of this actually are. What this actually means is that you live in an authoritarian country, just like we did under Joe Biden, when they can criminalize speech. That's what this means.
So what we did was narrow it down to just one foreign country can tell us what we can say, as opposed to like Ukraine and Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And oh, and I guess Qatar as well, because that's Israel's buddy. Hey, they're all buddies.
Come see us do stand-up in Baltimore, Hartford, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island, and San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for the tickets.